Very often, I hear people say there are no tourist attractions in Trinidad or things that are worthy of being tourist attractions. I do not believe that to be true, and instead think that it is simply that many people do not know what exists in Trinidad, and what does exist is not maintained and promoted. Today, we head to Fyzabad in South Trinidad to see what is there. I'm going to show you the rum shop at Daddy catch me. Well, not catch me, he surprised me. I'm going to show you this now. Should be at the top of the other thing. Ready? One day, take it somewhere around here, you know. We went to Fyzabad. I went to photograph something or the other, right? So I said, well, come and go with me. So he and I went. And that was the rum shop, I think. No, I think it's there. Anyhow, somewhere along here. So we went and get the photographs. And then he said, well, you know, there's only people in the country that win in lotto all the time. Come, we had to buy a lottery ticket. So I had to find a lot of food to buy the ticket and all that. And I don't know. And then on the way back, I tell him that I said, well, we have a real nice rum shop around here. And the fellas have some nice fried dry and things, so we'll stop and have a beer and so on. So yeah, okay. So when I reach by the rum shop, I pull in and come out of the car. And then you hear Daddy, what the fella name was, but he said, maybe Bo, not Bo Peep, but it sounds like Bo Peep, you know?
That was the name of the rum shop.
Yeah. He said, oh, you bring me by Bo Peep. Yeah. You know, he is getting, he's here, that place there, that rum shop right there. Yeah. He's getting fish from down Erie. He and Mr. Philbert, his good friend, Philbert has come and line with him and And Daddy gave me the whole history of the rum shop. I there thinking of like I name in a rum shop that you wouldn't know. As we head to Fyzabad, I should provide an explanation of how the area came to be called Fyzabad. In the mid-1800s, the Presbyterian Church was active in Trinidad and at the time was called the Canadian Missions to Indians, or CMI for short. Reverend Kenneth Grant had been busy converting Hindu indentured immigrants to Christianity, but he was concerned that if left among their Hindu brethren, they would switch back to the Hindu faith. So around 1871, he got state land in the area and encouraged East Indian workers who had completed their indentureship to settle in the area. These converted ex-indentured Indians named the settlement Fyzabad, after a district in Uttar Pradesh state in India, from which many of them had come. Continuing on the way to Fyzabad, a question might arise as to what led to the growth of Fyzabad from a village of farmers. The answer is simple: oil. In 1914, oil was discovered in the Fyzabad area, and several oil companies began operating in the area, including Apex Trinidad Oilfields, Globe Oilfields, and Trinidad Leaseholds Limited. These companies needed men to work in these oil fields, strong men who were accustomed to hard manual labor. The result? They brought in hundreds of men from Grenada and St. Vincent. A question might also be asked, what has stopped Fyzabad from growing? The answer is again simple: oil. As oil production in the area has decreased, so have the jobs fallen and the growth of Fyzabad has been stymied. We are here at what is called Charlie King Junction, looking at the statue of Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler. The names of these two men will be forever intertwined. Uriah Butler was born in Grenada and after serving in the British Army in Egypt in World War I, came to Trinidad. In the 1920s, for the ordinary worker, wages in the oil industry were extremely low. Working conditions were brutal and living conditions were terrible. In 1936, Butler founded the British Empire Workers and Citizens Home Rule Party and began agitating for improvements in the working conditions. On June 2, 1937, the colonial government charged Butler with sedition and incitement to riot. When he failed to appear in court, the police attempted to arrest him at 3 p.m. on June 19, 1937, while he was addressing a rally at Fyzabad Junction. When the police came, Butler called out to the crowd 3 times, saying, "Shall they arrest me?" And 3 times the crowd responded no. The arrest attempt led to a riot by the workers, and in the riot, English police officer Sub-Inspector William Bradburn was shot to death. This is the point at which Charlie King enters the story. Charlie King was a Trinidadian police corporal, and Charlie King was the one who physically attempted to arrest Butler. There is some dispute about what happened next, with one account saying that the crowd beat Charlie King to death at the junction and then set his body on fire. Another account says that Charlie King ran and hid in a nearby shop, but then attempted to escape by jumping through a shop window, but injured himself in the fall, thereby enabling the crowd to get a hold of him, at which point they set him on fire. Because of that death, this junction in Fyzabad is called Charlie King Junction. Over the ensuing 8 months, strikes and riots occurred throughout the country, and 9 trade unions were formed. Eventually, as a result of Butler's efforts, working conditions were improved, and June 19th was declared a public holiday, Labor Day. Let me see if I could find the place. Yeah. It's somewhere around. It's supposed to be close to here. No, there's supposed to be a little alleyway. Oh, I now see it up ahead. Nowadays, you hear the term extrajudicial killing by the police, and many people think this is a new phenomenon. This is not new and has happened in the past. On the night of June 19th, 1937, some members of the police went looking for Uriah Butler, and undoubtedly, they were angered by the murder of Corporal Charlie King. In their search, they encountered a man called Labray Charles, who bore a strong resemblance to Uriah Butler, and mistakenly identified him as Butler and shot him to death. Now, on the southern side of the road, not far from the statue of Butler, in what is called Charlie King Junction, there's a small concrete memorial to enable us to remember the death of Labray Charles. Folks, this was a high-low supermarket, what many of you now know as Massey Stores. In 1970, because of the amount of, well, I call it oil wealth, but income from the oil fees, especially because of the senior management that lived up in that area, Crest Camp, and if we swing, well, going up that way was Forest Reserve with a lot of foreign expatriate workers. The Nina Massey Group decided this is a good place for a supermarket. People have money. And so they built a Massey Stores here, Massey Supermarket, in 1970. And it lasted, well, I was thinking it's 10 years till 1980, but my sister is telling me no, that it went a bit longer than that. So I'm not sure what year it closed down, but certainly by 1990, it would have been closed. Why? Because by 1990, oil fields in this area were on the decline. Well, still seeing all the ducting that would have run the cool air, and I'm playing a bit fast. I'm looking to see if in the back here the chillers. All right, wet. I have to be careful how I walk in. And for those who always say, why am I going somewhere alone? No, this time I'm not alone. My brother-in-law is with me, and sister and another friend. So this time I haven't come exploring alone. I have company today. Well, I can't tell you what I'm seeing. Yeah, boy. All the ducting that would have run, probably through that door there is where the air conditioning unit was. So, Fyzabad back in 1970 was such a booming place that Massey put one of their supermarkets. And for my foreign viewers who may not know, Hilo Stroke Massey Stores is the largest chain of supermarkets in Trinidad, and now they've expanded beyond just Trinidad with supermarkets in Grenada and St. Lucia and St. Vincent. So I would dare say they're the largest chain of supermarkets certainly in the English-speaking Caribbean. So that is what used to be here. But as the economy in Fyzabad went down with the decline in the oil industry, basically Massey shut it down.
That's when oil was just coming out of the ground.
Yeah. In 1914, which is the well I want to find, in 1914, they drilled their first well somewhere up that side. They call it Helena. Was it 600 feet or 1,200 feet? I can't remember. And they hit oil. They say it just gush and gush. And it continued to produce for over 100 years. Continued to produce oil.
Wow.
Many individuals are familiar with Memorial Park in Port of Spain and the cenotaph that exists there, plus the Memorial Day parade that takes place every year in Port of Spain. Indeed, many people believe that this is the only war memorial in Trinidad. However, on the outskirts of Fyzabad, just where the road divides to bend to go to Forest Reserve or continue straight to go to Palo Seco, there's a large white war memorial. This cenotaph is on the grounds of what was previously the office of Apex Trinidad Oilfields. The original cenotaph was a wooden structure constructed in 1946 by employees of APEC who had served in World War II and were assisted by Apex in its erection. In the 1970s, Petrotrin replaced the wooden war memorial with the concrete cenotaph that we see today. On the 11th of November of each year, the southern branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Legion of the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Services League hosts a Remembrance Day memorial service in honor of the veterans who served and the heroes who fell during World War I and World War II. So this is the Sanderson Fyzabad Heritage Park. It actually has the name the Sanderson Heritage Park because it's named after a former member of parliament, Mr. Sanderson, who was instrumental in the development of this park. I must say that it's not as well kept as when I had visited here a few years ago, but it's still a nice place to visit. And it's a part of the reason for calling it a heritage park is that in the park there are memorabilia related to Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler, who we talked about in the early part of this video and is instrumental in terms of a lot of what happened or helped develop Fyzabad. Football field for well, right now it's more small goal football than large goal football. There are buildings in the park that are available for rental for functions, weddings and various receptions and so on. So I'm just walking along and letting you see what the Fyzabad Heritage Park looks like or is. By the way, the huts that you're seeing are available for rental, so you can come, have a lime, do a barbecue. This is one of the barbecue pits. look like somebody used this one because I'm seeing holes in it. One area in this park that is well maintained is the bar. That bar area is certainly well maintained and very spacious and very airy. Yes, the bar area in the park definitely well maintained. There's a small lake here, and surprisingly, approximately 100 species of birds visit the pond and the surrounding area, especially birds that either, but basically that feed on insects and small fish in the water. I cannot remember the last time that I ordered a petticoat. But we did so today because it was a lot of driving around. Needed a little something to drink. At the Fyzabad Heritage Park, there are also cottages, let me call it that are available for rental. So I decided to take a walk in the back and see what these cottages and the cottage area look like. So come with me. Let us see what these rooms and rental cottages look like. Well, boy, I'm somewhat surprised. Very nice swimming pool. Really nice swimming pool in the back here. Well, for those who don't know, this is what a drilling rig used to be like many years ago. This was what a drilling rig was like. And what you're seeing on the ground here, after they've drilled the well for production purposes, that's all that you needed. You don't often see these any longer. So as I was driving through Fyzabad area, I said I had to stop and take a shot for you all to see. Folks, if you liked this video and liked what you're seeing, please hit the like button and share the video. Hitting the like button helps the video because YouTube then says, hey, lots of people like this. Let me show it to even more people. So if you liked it, only if you liked it, then hit the like button so that YouTube will know to share the video with others. And by all means, share the video with anyone who you think would enjoy it. Well, as you see, the sun is going down, but it's not yet dark. So I'm continuing my exploration of Fyzabad. And you'll catch up with me a little later on as I go down around into more closer back now towards the heart of Fyzabad. Let's say the heart of the village. All around Fyzabad, you will still see evidence of that oil history. Like these two pumping jacks that are here pumping away. All over, you see pumping jacks. Up, down, slowly pumping that oil out of the ground. So, although the oil industry has waned significantly in Fyzabad, it's not dead, it's not over. Their production might be small, who knows? This might be producing 10, 12 barrels of oil a day only. So all you might be getting from these two might be 25, 30 barrels of oil a day. But it's still producing, still pumping. A lot of the industry has been taken over by, I think they call them farm out and lease out companies. Well, I know there used to be Primera and Trinity, but there's consolidation taking place among all of those, with I think Touchstone buying out all the other small producers. They're still operating. So there's still oil in Forest Reserve. But that's how much? 1914 to 2025, 113 years later, yes, there's still oil being produced here. There used to be two cinemas in Fyzabad, Universal Cinema and Empire Cinema. Like most of Trinidad, the cinemas have closed down. This is the former Universal Cinema, which was opened in the 1950s and remained operating until 2006. Now it's a church. In 1970, Barclays Bank, which later became Republic Bank, established a bank branch in Fyzabad. Today, this is still the only bank branch in Fyzabad. Now, in a sense, we're going full circle, moving from the days of oil back to the days of agriculture. And we're going on the Siparia Old Road on the outskirts of Fyzabad to the Mud House Museum. This mud house was built in 1885 by Tetri Chatur, who was an Indian indentured laborer and over a period of time was able to acquire an estate that produced cocoa and coffee, and he constructed this house on it. Unfortunately for us, on the day that I went to Fyzabad, it was too late to go and do a tour of the Mud House Museum. But fortunately, I had been there before and had captured some photographs of the museum and what's inside of it. This mud house is constructed completely of mud. The walls were simply built up and then the roof was put on it. And it's really interesting to go inside of the museum because they have many of the tools and utensils that were used over 100 years ago. So you get to see a real bygone era.